So this is to one person, and if you're watching, then it's to you. Earlier this year, I started work on a project that involved taking older poems and recreating them in my voice of today. That project turned into a manuscript of sorts where earlier poems were matched with their present versions. What also emerged from this project was another manuscript, one that involved strictly new work, and I received a question about it that I've been trying to answer for the past few weeks. I recently wrote a poem that I recited in my last video about telling the truth and gave a little insight into how I work. Since my breakup, I've been focusing on how I handle things and how I need to be handling things in order for things to be okay for me. It is natural for me to hold things in for a long time because I don't want to bother anybody. I never want to be a bother to anybody. But I've been realizing that this practice of holding things in is not good for me or anybody else. I have this big fear of letting people down, and for so long I have felt that what I had to say was either not important enough to say, that it would be disappointing, and that there would only be negative effects. So to answer the question of why, because there are a few whys in regard to this manuscript, I guess I can start with why I wrote it. I truly don't think that I had a choice in the matter. My creativity flows when I am inspired, when I have something to write about. When there's no inspiration, there's nothing to say. And sometimes that inspiration takes the form of love, lust, jealousy, anger, sadness, nostalgia, admiration, and many other things. But especially in this manuscript, those things are present. So why send it? Yes, part of me wanted to say thank you for being such an inspiration, because you have been. But there's also another part of it. I'm proud of my work, and though all of these poems are works in progress, I am proud that I wrote them, and I'm proud of my feelings. For once in a very long time, I'm proud to say that I have had those feelings. And I guess there was part of me that didn't want to be silent about something that I consider to be so great. I know that there are people that I know who don't consider that to be the case at all, but I am proud of how I feel, even if I stand alone in that pride. So, for a simplified version of all of this, I know what it is like to love someone and what it is like to be loved. I know what it is to be in a relationship and hope for things to go very far. But I also know what it is like to carry someone in my heart for many years, because deep down that person served as an ideal in ways that she will never understand. She may never understand that I feel that beauty is a rare gift, that we must always cherish, and that who she is and everything that she is has been beautiful to me. She might not see beyond the magnitude of this manuscript to see that perhaps I have not just chased after this idea of her, but I truly like her as a person, and I have the highest admiration for her. Maybe she will know that the manuscript is about wanting someone that you can't have, but that I am thankful to have the feeling of wanting someone so badly that that person has served as a fountain of inspiration. In my own quirky way, I have tried to say this, but there's really no way to dress it up nicely. I never had friends growing up, not the ones who stick by me during hard times. And I have valued your friendship to the point that I put aside my own feelings to keep that friendship. I'm sad to say that my feelings even have the ability to take away that type of connection. But I guess I now have the floor to say how I feel. I always thought that if you loved someone, that you should appreciate them. I guess that's that whole black and white movie thing, that I feel that grand gestures, if it's possible to make a grand gesture of your appreciation, that you should, because we've only got one life, and you should make grand gestures for people that you appreciate. I never wrote you poetry every day, only when the inspiration hit. But nonetheless, I have lots of poetry to show me how I've been affected by having you in my life. I consider that to be a good thing and a positive thing. I was afraid to tell you any of this for so long because I didn't want to be rejected. I didn't want you to laugh at me. After 2006, I just figured I shouldn't say any more because it's hard, but it's hard not to think about the person who has been the standard that you feel everyone should be at. I have tried so hard to match myself with girls who fit those expectations, but there are none, to my knowledge, that can ever be you. A long time ago, I just thought that if I could get you to understand me or not get so angry when we talked during freshman year, that you might like me as a person, that I might have had a chance at showing you how I felt you should be treated, like the best. So in our friendship, my gifts or cards or whatever were sent because I do think that you are the best. And that's my way of doing that. I never got around to saying any of this in actual depth because when I have feelings, they're normally very deep. And as you already know, I'm actually not that tough when it comes to women. My feelings get hurt easily. And so just as it comes as a huge shock to you that I would send any of this stuff or say any of this stuff or mean it, it comes as just a biggest surprise to me that I even had the courage to open up about it. I hope that this has been more clear. I did want to thank you before for your inspiration, and I'm sorry if I confused you or made you question my intentions or my friendship. That was not the point. It was actually just to say what you have meant to me, or that what you have meant to me has been something very big, very great, very unexpected, but always welcomed.